Welcome to Sakshi TV's Immigration Talk Show with Dr. Attorney, Dr. Srinivas Kaveti. I am Preeti Mulbagal, your host for the show. Our today's guest, Dr. Kaveti, is a very well-known, multifaceted, accomplished and an international attorney who studied law in India, Australia, England and United States, catering to diversified clientele across the globe. Dr. Kaveti, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, Preeti.
Kaveti Law Firm has 21 offices around the world with the recent openings in Chennai, Secunderabad and Dubai, and new offices being opened again in Indianapolis and in Australia across the globe with partnership with Ramsayer and Associates. So congratulations on that, Dr. Kaveti.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So if we have to talk about your awards, it's, I guess, a never-ending list. So I would like to just talk about one or two, maybe about the recent Best International Council Award that has been conferred to you by Best Review, and many other newspapers have also covered it. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And our today's topic of discussion is about the significant changes to the original H-1B selection process, so which has actually created a buzz across. So shall we start, Dr. Kaveti?
Oh, yes. Actually, the president proclaimed it and it came in the Federal Register today and they published in USCIS.
So what are the most important changes in the newly introduced H-1B rules to start with?
Every time, because the H-1B season starts in March, everybody knows that, right? For STEM professionals and other advanced degree professions. Last many years, you've been seeing many changes. Now the changes that when you are applying, it was a lottery. One must understand, as everybody knows, there are 65,000 visas for general quota and 20,000 for who've done masters in America with an advanced degree, master's degree. What has been happening is if any employer intends to hire an alien worker, foreign worker, they go and file an application with the Department of Labor, Federal Labor. Before, there was no lottery because, more number of visas and less applicants. But now, past many years now, they have come up with the lottery system that you make an application, and if you're picked up in the lottery, and you file, whether it is a general one or a master's quota, you go in the same one. But now, because of the present administration, the key is they want to have highly skilled migrant workers coming to US. Two, they have to be highly paid wage earners. These are the two criteria. President Trump has come with a proclamation saying that any company who's intending, willing, and able to hire a foreign worker, you have to file an application. You have to just go on lottery, and the lottery will be picked up. Again, everybody knows there are levels of wages: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. What does it mean? Those levels determine that if you're a level 1 guy, you're just an entry guy. And what has been happening in the past, almost all staffing companies, they were hiring people on level 1 or level 2 max. That means level 1 is 80,000, level 2 is 120, 130. But now what the Trump has done, because as a president, he has an executive authority, he made some changes. This has not gone through the Congress or Senate. This is not changes in immigration law, but he came with an executive order, which is a proclamation. And because he is the executive head of the country, he can order the executive machinery like Department of State, Department of Immigration, Department of Labor. They're all administrative agencies. He's the boss for that. And he said, okay, this is my proclamation. Now we are changing a lot of things. The first and foremost thing he's changing is that wage levels. He said now change the wage levels. And again, one must understand the wage levels, as I just said to you, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. These are all federal wage levels. One must understand under the Constitution of US, the labor is both state subject and federal subject, which is on a concurrent level. That means both governments can make decision. For example, if you see, if somebody wants to get a job in a New York City, in a downtown Manhattan, his salary will be high. And same job, if you're giving it in Tennessee, the salary is less because they said the state and federal they control. Because Tennessee, somebody living in Tennessee, Nashville, might not have the same expense or tax the way the city of New York imposes on the employer and on the employee. And the lifestyle, the expensive, New York is expensive, things like that. Based on that, there are some factors, they make decisions of wage levels. But there is standardized for the whole of country. They said these are the minimum things you have to pay. So now the problem is, before they were all making applications level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. If somebody wants to hire a CFO, they were still under the lottery. But now he made changes, a significant
So, as
changes.
we before we go further in depth, so what problem or goal were these new reels intended to address, Dr. Kaveti?
The foremost thing is because that there was some research has been done in the country, and the president is being informed that the H-1B is being abused. People are abusing this because they got some statistics that these big companies they are hiring workers from overseas, and simultaneously 25,000 approvals are coming, but they are firing 15, 20,000 people. So there is a discrepancy. They were saying that you're firing people, American workers. Another way, you're getting an approval for H-1B, you're taking low paid workers. So that means what they understood is the American workforce and the companies and the Department of Labor, they're saying that you're displacing an American guy, American worker. American means it could be a green card holder, it could be a citizen. But now you're hiring some H-1B guys. So they said that there is an abuse by the software consulting companies and even these multinational companies hiring low wage workers, which is a level 1 or 2, and by firing workers who are on a level 3 or level 4, those are making 250, 280,000. So they said that you're hurting American economy. And they made all this research and they said, no, let us introduce a system where you will not abuse this. You will only have somebody highly educated with high skills, and two, where the employers are paying, level 4, level 3, that is $270,000, $200,000, $225,000. So you first give them opportunity. So now the lottery system is focusing on, they pick it up first time the wage 4, which is more than 250, 260. Then if you're not picked up, then you're again in the wage level 2, level 3. Similar thing goes to level 2 and level 1. That means they're going to pick up 3 to 4 times. That is the difference between from last time to this time.
Wow. So, when do these changes take effect and who's affected immediately?
From February coming H-1B quota 2026, everybody gets affected, whether it's a profit-making companies or a non-profit making companies. They said employer, they can't discriminate on a profit-making or a non-profit. H-1B is H-1B for everybody. Equal protection of law, equality of law. Everybody's treated equally.
So, have the eligibility requirements of H-1B visa workers changed in any significant way?
Well, the requirements of H-1B workers, obviously, now somebody is not having any experience or somebody who just passed his master's and they have come into the workforce. They only have 1 or 2 years of experience. And if you're competing with somebody and the employers have to first hire, and the lottery system first picks up highly earned workers and highly skilled workers. So that means you're competing with highly skilled workers like CFOs, CETOs, things like that with 15, 20 years of experience, and with a basic master's or a bachelor's. You So that's a change.
Okay. So, are certain job roles, industries, or degree levels more impacted than others?
Yes, definitely STEM workers are always in demand. Other workers, for example, for lawyers, they're saying that you have to pay $280,000. How come, a recent law graduate passing the bar exam can get $280,000? It's impossible. And two, the biggest change now, what they said, that before even you sponsor anyone, the proclamation said that you have to pay $100,000, somebody you're bringing from overseas. And without paying that, you have to have that receipt that you already deposited $100,000 and then file an H-1B. And one is $100,000 is a burden. And two, you're giving a job and hiring somebody with 10 years, 15 years of experience, and you have to pay $250,000 salary. And these are highly skilled people. That means for a company to sponsor somebody, it costs you $300,000 to $350,000. Where they're going to bring some people like this? And are they going to? Because if you sponsor them and bring them, it's going to be a heavy financial burden on the companies. And two, we are not nowhere close, because if you see the statistics, what they've been saying, majority of H-1Bs are being taken away by the consulting companies. And majority of consulting companies are Cognizant Technology, Tata Consulting, and many Desi companies, and a lot of IT companies who are run by Desi guys. The majority of them are taken by the Desi guys. So it's going to impact a lot on companies which are run by Desi guys.
Okay. So, what new obligations or compliance requirements do employers now face, apart from the
Well,
100,000 fee?
Well, basically, if somebody wants to, let's say if a company is having somebody working on an OPT or a CPT and they want to give him a job. And that means if you want to give somebody a job, you just have a master's degree and you don't have 15, 20 years of experience. So even if you have a master's degree, and if you don't have experience and skill, you will not be there, nowhere close, because in lottery, you don't get picked up. Even if you say that I'm giving a level one wage, let's say I'm going to pay 120, 130, you're in lottery, you'll not be picked up, because the first priority is given for level four. And if you're not picked up, they go to level three. You're not picked up, level two, not picked up, level one. If you're picking up level one, all these level four, level three, level two guys are also there in that pool. That means where is your opportunity? The opportunity and the selection is, it's
Diluted,
reduced
way more diluted.
drastically. So that means you don't have chance.
So, have the wage requirements, job descriptions, or documentation standards changed?
Well, you have to show that the person whom you're giving a job has excellent education and skills and certifications, and that's a burden on the employer and the employee as well. And these have to be bona fide. And two, they have to say that they've been earning high incomes, because they're coming to earn $250,000. Obviously, you're in a high tax bracket. That means the employer also has to have an ability. You can't have $1 million turnover company hiring one or two persons with $250,000 salary. How are you going to do it? So it's going to have a financial undue burden on the employer and on the employee as well. It's not going to happen. Definitely not. Because if you're earning that much money, you're in a 40 plus tax bracket on that slab. So you're paying high tax, and so is the employer. And obviously, commercial feasibility, that means the employer has to make at least $500,000 to pay somebody a $350,000 salary and $100,000 which is a gift to the government. It's not coming back to you. And that's only for 1 year. That's what they said. If you're paying $100,000, they said the rule says now it's valid up till 1 year, that $100,000. And we don't know what's going to happen next year because that's what the proclamation says. Rule is effective for 1 year. So we don't know what it's going to be uncertain as well. When there is uncertainty in business world, when you're running a commercial enterprise, you don't know what's going to be the expenses for hiring a foreign worker. So when there's uncertainty, so how can you do business?
So, what if the project extends beyond 1 year from the client side? It goes until 2 years, and then the person, the candidate, does not have the visa extension. So, are they supposed to file it separately again beyond that, or does the client have a say in it?
No, the H-1B approval is normally for 3 years, but because if you're bringing somebody from overseas, you have to pay 100,000 initially for 1 year. We don't know what's going to happen to next year, whether he will impose another $100,000 for the next year, or it is only one-time fees. We don't know. The proclamation doesn't say anything. So it's very vague. So that means when it is not, when we don't have, it's very ambiguous. So we don't know, we cannot even say. So in ambiguity, how can a business can run? We don't know the operation costs next year if I'm hiring somebody. We don't know. So it's going to be a lot of confusion, ambiguity, a lot of chaos. Nobody can answer it. So I guess this is the first time in the country we have to see how it goes. What are the rules and regulations which will come up? Because when the president makes a proclamation as an executive head, he gives, it's called delegated legislation. He delegates this authority to the agencies, for example, Department of State and Department of Immigration and Department of Labor. When they delegate this rule-making authority, this is called delegated legislation under the Constitution of US, they have to make a rulemaking. It's already came in the Federal Register now, but other agencies have to make their own rules. So how will they make the rules next year? We don't know.
So, under such uncertainty, what are the biggest mistakes the employers should avoid under the new rules?
Well, I guess, buyer be aware. They have to consult some lawyers, do some research. And when they're making an application by next year, we don't know what is the position because we still have another 3-4 months time, whether this holds good or if anybody will file any writ petitions in the Supreme Court of America. We don't know whether this rule and whether this proclamation holds good. We don't know. If it goes to litigation, if somebody takes it and say, because it is burdening, because whenever there is a burdensome, any law which burdens the businesses, when it affects the interstate commerce under the Constitution of US, there is a high burden on the government when they're bringing the law. That is called strict scrutiny. That means there's a high burden on the government, that the government has a compelling interest why they're bringing this law. If somebody goes and say, what is a compelling interest on the government to put all this $100,000 and increase the wage rates and everything, it might even go for litigation. It's just an academic discussion what I'm doing because, there is a strict scrutiny standards on the government when it is affecting the businesses, when it is affecting the individuals. So we don't know what's going to happen. We have another 3-4 months to see. It's too early to speak about it.
Okay. So, how do these changes affect the international students hoping to transition from F1 to H-1B?
Well, the problem is that the employer can still file their H-1B and they can still be sponsored. They can still go on lottery on the level 1 or level 2. We don't know. And if they get picked up on level 1 or level 2, the wages have increased from last year to this year. That means whatever the employer is willing to pay last year, if they're an OPT or a CPT and on a work authorization stem, and when the H-1 becomes, the salaries are going to be higher. We don't know whether the companies are able and willing to pay. We don't know. So definitely it's going to have a serious impact on students. Those who are graduating now, those who have graduated in the past, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it's going to have a serious impact on them.
So does the $100,000 fee still apply from if it is a transition from F1 to H1
Not to the students who are in the country, but those who are coming from outside. Not for
from
them.
outside of the country?
Yes.
Okay. So are the first time applicants impacted differently than extensions or transfers?
The law is not saying anything to the extensions or transfers. It would not impact, but anybody is coming from overseas. This $100,000 fee. And in the lottery, if you're already in the cap exempt, if you already got an H1, you come under the cap exempt, that doesn't apply.
Okay. So what should the prospective H-1B applicants do differently this year compared to the previous years?
Well, they have to see whether the company which is sponsoring, they have to check it out whether the company which is sponsoring, are they offering a job on the level 1 or level 2? The employees have to do due diligence. What is a level 1? What is a level 2? They must also check up with the employer where they're offering the jobs. For example, if a company is in New York, Manhattan, and they're having an office obviously in Indianapolis, the wage structure is different, and if they have a branch office, they're offering a employment in Indianapolis, the wage is obviously less. So the employers and employees have to find out from the employers what job position they're giving, what level of employment wage structure they're paying. They have to find out the credibility of the company, whether the company have that financials, and they have to see a whole heap of things before they even gave their names or gave their applications to the employers. And now they're changing the laws. Tomorrow, if the students doesn't get an H-1B, they want to extend their H-1 F1 student visas, again go to another school. They're changing the F1 regulations as well. The Trump is saying that you cannot just go into another school, get another I-20 and just continue and do a CPT or anything else. It's going to make an impact. It's going to make a lot of changes for even maintaining your F1 status. That you can't do two masters, you can't do a PhD, you came with an education objective and you're just changing from one school to another school. They're making some changes there as well. So it's going to be difficult, and the compliance are going to be difficult. The rules and regulations are going to change. It's going to have a major impact on the economy, major impact on the students, major impact on the employers, and major impact on education business who are coming from overseas to America as well.
I believe it's about 70% of what it constitutes to for the international students, isn't it, Dr. Kaveti?
Yes,
In the
yes, it's going to have an
universities.
impact. Yes,
Wow, that's a
and
major
STEM
impact.
professions. Yes,
At least the extensions and the transfers are, at least for now, they have a respite.
right. And I mean, if you see recently, whenever people are going for H-1B stamping now, arbitrarily they're canceling revoking a lot of H-1Bs. Back in India, there's a big, hue and cry now. So a lot of media guys are doing on this, and it's going to be a chaos, I guess, by next year. I'm not trying to scare the viewers, but they have to do due diligence, research before making any decisions or even making changes of relocation from one country to another country. I guess they have to be aware of it before they make any decisions, because there's a big financial decisions are there.
True. With so many rules to keep track of, it is better to always contact an experienced attorney.
Yes.
So, do the new rules affect the application timelines or the processing speed?
Processing fees, they have not made any changes. They've already made changes last year. The same thing applies. I don't see they have made any changes now. It remains the same. But the system, what they're doing is changed. That's all I would say.
Okay. So, are there changes in the filing fees or related costs for the employers or applicants
I don't see
apart
any
from what is
filing
paid?
fee change. I don't see any filing fee changes other than this $100,000.
Okay. So, how should the companies plan their hiring timelines under the updated system?
Well, I mean, they should start now, but are they willing and able? They have to see their finances, whether they can afford to file H1s. And now, the Mr. Proclamation and other things are coming up that are going to have a strict compliance. The ICE will visit employers even. They might do more audits. So they should be ready for that, not run a business from home, because a lot of desi guys run business from home. You can't have businesses from home now.
True.
Strict compliance. A lot of paralegals are also doing H-1B, sitting from home, filling up forms. I guess they should contact competent immigration attorneys in their jurisdiction and do everything lawfully.
True. So, what are the potential risks if the legal risks if the employers misunderstand or ignore any of these new rules?
The law is saying that once you pay all these fees, everything, there's not going to be any refund, and you're losing a lot of money as well. That's the biggest risk.
So, how can the companies best prepare for audits or government scrutiny?
Well, there are some lawyers who specialize in audits, immigration audits, and Department of Labor audits. They should hire them and not just go and go Google and ChatGPT and rely on some paralegal staff for doing. Don't rely on them. I'm not against anybody, but they should be careful in doing it. Hire some
Okay.
competent immigration attorneys.
Okay. So, Dr. Kaveti, before we close, if there is one key takeaway about the new H-1B rules that people often overlook, what would it be?
Well, they should know the law of the land. That's the first thing. Not get confused. Get to know the law of the land and talk to some experts and do it. That's the key. Buyer be aware.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Kaveti, for your time. It was an amazing discussion on the newly raised rules, and we look forward to having many more discussions with you on such topics. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank you,
great day.
Preeti, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Merry Christmas to you too, and a Happy New Year.